Uh, that one's better. I just want to thank everyone for who's sticking around, sticking to the end. And without any further ado, I will start talking about what I'm always talking about, which is the five love languages. Have you ever been in a relationship that started with a bang and ended in a fizzle or knife fight? Where you loved each other deeply, but it just didn't work out. Chances are it's because you might have been speaking in completely different love languages and didn't know it. If you hang around me long enough, like 2 to 5 minutes, I will end up talking to you about these love languages. Gary Chapman's book, The Five Love Languages, is amazing. It is inspired. I love it. It's changed my relationships with people. And mostly, I talk about this because I want to know everyone's love language. I'm a recovering cynic / hopeless romantic, and the best advice I can give to all of you is to figure out how to love the people you love better by learning and speaking their love languages. So Gary Chapman says that we have these five love languages: acts of service, words of affirmation, physical touch, gifts. And these five love languages basically determine how we receive and give love. So if you speak quality time, nothing says I love you like full undivided attention. When someone is present for you, TV off, phone down, all chores done, you feel loved. You give time to the people you love. If you speak acts of service, your favorite words are, let me do that for you, or even better, I already did that, babe. When you tick off a box for someone's to-do list, they feel loved, they feel seen and appreciated. You lighten the load for those you love. If you speak gifts, you thrive off of the effort and thoughtfulness behind each gift. The perfect gift says, he knows me, she remembered me. Symbols show love if you speak gifts. If you speak touch, physical presence and touch communicate warmth, safety, love. You like a hello hug, a goodbye kiss, a touch on the shoulder, pat, squeeze of the butt. Those things, random moments, random times mean the world to you. You touch who you love. If you speak words of affirmation, actions actually do not speak louder than words. Hearing that someone loves you sends your heart skyward. Compliments, encouragement, praise, they mean the world to you. When you get a little love note, when you get a encouragement, a cheer, that means everything more than even an act of service would have for you. So you cheerlead those you love. So what is your primary love language? How do you know what it is? You ask yourself one question: what do I complain about the most? For instance, if you complain that she never puts her phone down, chances are that's quality time. Oprah took the 5 love languages test with Gary Chapman. And everyone has, out of 30 questions, you get a score, highest score of possible 12. Anyone guess Oprah's love language? It isn't gifts. She gives stuff away, but that's not how she receives love. Oprah's words is words of affirmation. Now, I took the test, and I scored 9 for quality time. So what does that mean? That means if you're interested in loving me, I'm more of the Calvin and Hobbes kind of girl. I want one-on-one quality time. If we're exploring the world, if we're talking about the 5th dimensions in this dimension together, I'm happy. I'm also a cheap date, basically. If you spend quality time with me, you will fill my love tank. And this is the other concept in the book, this concept of a love tank. We all have tanks, and if they're empty, we're likely to make war. If they're full, we're likely to make peace with one another. A lot of people are running on E because they don't have their love tanks full. So if you want to love Miriam, get 12 for acts of service. That's the highest score you could possibly get. Do her laundry. If you want to love Justin, touch his butt. If you want to love Lowell, give her, spend some time with her. Tell Lavette she looks beautiful. Now, some people make excuses about love. They basically believe that, they're wondering, how do I discover my lover's love language without being chained down like Pepe Le Pew? Now, You ask yourself two questions if you want to know what your lover's love language is. What do they complain about, and what do they show love for? So, let me carry this further. If you love LeBron James, for instance, and you want to be LeBron's second wife, hypothetically, but LeBron only speaks Russian, you're not going to convince him that your schoolgirl crush should turn into full-blown marriage speaking English. So, another thing Gary talks about in his book is that we learn how we love from our parents. Our love language is determined early on from the love we got and the love we didn't get. So thinking about if love languages changed over time, not necessarily. That starts as children. But that's no excuse. My mom is an acts of service lady. And the way that she loved, it looked too much like slavery, and I'm a feminist. So for a really long time, I wanted nothing to do with love, because it looked like that. But don't confuse how someone loves with how you want to be loved. A lot of couples wonder, if I don't speak the same love language of my partner, are we doomed? Yes, you are. No, you're not doomed, but if you're unwilling to learn how to speak Russian, if you're unwilling to learn how to touch Justin's butt, you are doomed. So in the words of my kind of love guru, Muji, the problem is that we treat love as if it was a loaf of bread. Like if I give you 2 slices of bread, of 2 slices of love, you have 2 slices less. That is not how love works. I think it goes without speaking that love is not a loaf of bread. I think love is more infinite than that. And I think that we have this idea that we're going to run out of love if we love somebody. We're so guarded. We withhold so much. But I promise you, whether it's you end in divorce or marriage or friendship, if you give all of your love, you will have all of your love left. Thank you.
Does anyone have any questions? Yes, Miriam. You're the Alia for tonight. Woo!
Sorry, it's me again.
Yes.
Tiff, lovely. Big fan, you know that. That's how I start all my questions. It's a great concept, and I understand it intellectually. However, as an advocate of it, as you seem to be, how are you able to live the 5 languages life on a daily basis? Thank you.
Shoot, okay. That was a great question, and one that I'm going to waste time speaking to think about. Miriam asked, how do I take that concept of 5 love languages into my everyday life? And really, it comes down to when I learn somebody's language, like I'm always asking everybody what their language is. So for instance, Miriam, when I house sat for you, after I learned what your language was, I cleaned the shit out of your house. Because I knew you would really appreciate that, because you scored 12 out of 12 for acts of service. So it just is a matter of learning the language. That's the first step, learning the language. The second aspect of love is an act. I mean, Louis beautifully pointed this out on my Facebook page when I asked people, what are your love languages? Take the score, tell me. Love is the act of learning how the people you love want to be loved. And I think so often we find ourselves loving in ways that we love, and there's a huge breakdown in communication that's happening, arguments happening because, like for instance, Miriam scored, the lowest score she had was for words of affirmation. She scored a 1 for words of affirmation, whereas Jessica scored an 11. So where words would mean absolutely nothing to Miriam, if you tell Jessica, you look beautiful today. I love you because you're smart. I love when you say that and how you make me think about the stars, the moon, the sun, and the bees. That's what you do for people. You figure out what they need, and you fill their tank.
Next question.
Yes, Aideen. Can Can you have more than one love language? Yes. So in the slide back up there, we had a couple of people who were overlapping. My friend Michelle scored 7 out of 7 in the four love languages. But if you, I don't know, the slide's only on there for 20 seconds, right? So you can't see much, but no one who took that test scored for gifts. But you can have more than one language. It's like being bilingual. You can speak 2 languages. It just makes it easier to love you, basically, if you do speak 2 languages.
Thank you, Tiff.
All right.
Thank
you,
you.
everyone.